Okay, call meeting order at 6 o'clock. Thank you everyone for showing up. Adoption of the agenda, we do have one item to add, 9.09. I just wrote said the nerd, but it's the NRED application grant. So can we get a motion to accept the amended agenda as presented? Councilor Cole. All in favor? Carried. Seeing no delegations tonight. All presentations.
What happened there?
I'll be here.
Remember?
You never use lines. Adoption of the minutes.
Oh.
Councilor Oldboden.
Yeah.
All in favor? Carried. The regular council meeting. Or sorry, yeah, or regular council meeting. Councilor Murphy, all in favor? Carried. And information session. Councilor Murphy, all in favor?
I did the last one. I didn't actually put my hand up.
Yeah, I see that twice.
No, it was.
Oh,
We're basically twins.
easy.
Sorry, where am I?
Motion for accounts payable.
Sorry.
Any questions or concerns?
That was the one there about our check there to Brownlee. For $9.09 about the expense.
Right.
That's the only question I got.
You wanna know what that's for?
Yeah,
Registering for the
And then
amount
you
you
got,
receive with the pay.
yeah,
So-
please, yeah.
yeah, okay. Any other questions or concerns? Hearing none. Call to accept the accounts payable listing from general account information, check number 43254 to 43276. Direct deposit 003457 to 003560. And electronic fund transfer batch number 894, 897, and 901. Motion. Councilor Thurl, all in favor? Carried. Statement of revenue.
I think I have a question.
Perfect. Councilor Bowden.
It's regarding, and I think I know what the answer is. It's just, under pools, seasonal salaries and that sort of thing, that it was about 24,000 more than what had been budgeted for. But is that not due to the fact that we did not get the summer student grant?
That would be my guess, Councilor Bowden. Yeah, we only
Yeah,
got
I'm assuming so,
Yeah.
because there was
that
another
summer
one.
employment grant, Canada summer job grant. That's what it is, sorry. I didn't
Yeah.
think to it.
Sorry, my apologies for not getting it the right
No,
name,
that's fine.
yeah, so I think that is, goes to show you just how much that grant is a benefit to our community, and maybe we'll get it again.
Well, for museum, this is year 2 without it.
Well, it's the
The
town,
deadline-
the same thing, 2 years for the town as well.
The
So,
deadline has bumped up. It's like now.
July. I don't think it's this quick.
Yep. Yeah.
wow.
It's in the next couple of weeks. Like
Yeah, it is.
it's really quick this year. It's quicker than usual. So
Okay, any more conversation? Hearing none, council accepts the statement of revenue and expense for October 2024 for information. Motion. Council Olson, all in favor? Carried. Budget overview, October 2024. That's some Murphy, I hear you scroll.
I-
over.
14 pages.
Any questions or concerns? Hearing none, motion accepting budget overview October 2024 for information, Councilor Carroll. All in favor? Carried. Committee reports. Non-statutory meeting. Questions, concerns? I think the biggest thing with that meeting is the need to stress that it is it's a working document, a living document. I'm not sure what the proper terminology is, but
Just to let council know, I've been working on a revised version of that, and I've been talking to Harvest Animal Rescue because they had some issues with the last version of it. So we've corrected those issues. So hopefully next council meeting, we should have another version of that for you to review.
That excludes the hen,
Yeah.
the urban hen version.
and then municipal planning,
Did you have somebody,
separate motion,
do you want to make a motion for that one?
separate motion.
Yeah, please.
Okay. Motion for non-statutory hearing minutes on September 16th, 2024, Councilor Bowden. All in favor? Carried. Municipal Planning Commission meeting minutes October 1st, 2024.
I can do
Councilor Olson. All in favor? Carried. We're past, we're past the,
It's to do with the AUC, which is,
we've already passed that portion of the meeting, like we started 6.
I know, I'm
Sorry.
it's only like, it was only
Yeah. No, it's,
on the agenda, you could call ahead to be in a delegation and then we know that you're attending. It's to do with
Yeah, no, yeah. we've heard that, but as I said, we've already passed that portion of the meeting, so no, we can't have.
Find out, yeah.
It's actually 7 after, but no, we're carrying on. Senior administrator,
It's just that we have to, send in our concerns or objections to natural gas before, on or before November 12th. Well, oh, that's different. It's actually 14th for now. So that's why.
hey, we're not waiting this minute. We've already covered it. We're into the meeting. Senior administrator report, CEO.
Yeah, can I just,
No, it's not. We
I
have,
think it's reasonable, 5 minutes is nothing.
You're disrupting the meeting right now. Like, sorry that you were late. So it happens to everybody. We have to continue the meeting.
It's between the franchise agreement between the town and Apex.
we're already got, we're done. We're moving on. Thank you.
While I leave, I think it's like, I don't know, you may think I'm rude and I'm sorry.
Well,
I don't carry a cloth on me.
chief
Central gas is on Watts Trail Road.
We have to.
No, it's
No, we're moving on. Thank you.
street. And we
You're
just have,
disruptive. You're disruptive now.
you're being
Oh,
unreasonable.
No,
It's
you're
different. Because we can get it cheaper.
shut the door, shut the door, shut the door. Shut the door.
They will give us. Yeah, it's possible. Very possible.
Not my, oh my God.
I love Brentwood, you miss. Okay. Back to me. So this ABC and Apex thing. You want to start with that? Question. So we sent out, more letters to the downtown businesses that were affected by the project, just to remind them, because some had not submitted their claim.
Mhm.
So we told them that they have till the end of the year to submit a claim, just so that we can, balance our books and we know what's coming in and going out. The Nickelback themed monument that we discussed at the last meeting, for the tourism grant, there was a deadline to submit an expression of interest. So I submitted an expression of interest last week. It doesn't commit us to anything. So, and I know some other municipalities have already expressed expression of interest and have been denied already. We haven't been denied already, so they must have some interest in building a Nickelback themed monument here.
Well, it would be quite, kind of lucrative as far as the advertisement that the town could get regarding any involvement with them. And
But I did ask them for the max amount, which was $500,000.
Mhm.
It's actually interesting.
Moving.
On that note, there was actually a young fella from the northern United States who is basically traveling Alberta, Canada. He was up and he, every day he puts an update, and he was actually in Drumheller, and he detoured to Hanna and took a picture of all the album covers, took a picture in front of the JC Chair School sign, and basically did a quick documentary basically on Hanna, the home of Nickelback, which I thought was pretty cool. So I've been following this kid. He's actually in Moose Jaw today. So, but yeah, just a young guy who lives in a truck, and he just basically gets up in the morning, decides where he's going.
The people follow.
Roll.
So learning about things they've never been
Yeah.
to. That's great.
Okay, sorry.
No worries. So I had a meeting with Apex to explore collaborative projects, including a potential land swap. They have some land by our community center, I think they said, and they wanted to swap that, but they said that a year away before they're ready.
And is that just that little piece that was,
They said it's a little
Like,
piece.
yeah.
That's where we're.
Yeah. where they removed them?
It's a header now. It wasn't either.
To swap it with what?
Somewhere by the golf course, they said.
There's one behind the hospital.
Is that, yeah. Yeah. So they said they're a year away from planning that. We met with AB Munis. They came to talk about our benefits, and they also give us a comparison if we switched all our benefits to them, like what would be better, what would, but it would cost a little bit more if we switch.
I'm just leaving. I think we should switch our house.
They're doing it again. I want to stop doing it.
So, and I met with Gwen to discuss music in the park and her plans for next year, and some other projects she's been working on as well. From Kevin, we got the arena curling updates. Season started smoothly. Curling began on November the 4th.
No,
No, it didn't. No, things changed. Okay.
The ice plants.
yeah, the ice plant is going, we don't have the blades for them to shave, so curling hasn't started yet. But I believe the first layer of ice,
Yeah, they'd already started putting the ice in, but
I just can't keep it shaved to get it.
yeah. We'll the old style. Yeah. The fitness center is currently closed because they're doing some painting and some work in there. He's working on that MCCAC energy grant for the community center. Michelle said music in the park was successful. Preparations for 2025 are underway. Participated in crisis communication training. SCADA Senate scheduled for December the 15th. Planning to provide a harm reduction and community education training sessions to staff from Turning Point Rural Outreach Team. And that's the reports I have. There's other staff on it.
Any questions? Nothing. I see we're looking for a temporary public works person.
Yeah, just to cover
We'll
over
go
the
one off on leave or, okay. I kind of assumed that, but just,
So we're just looking for temporary, the note we have is he'll be off until January 1st, maybe longer. So we're just looking for somebody to fill in if we need that. truck driver or,
Somebody's considering doing something.
and see what's out there,
Yeah.
if this turns into long term or.
Right. Then you already have somebody in here.
Kind of thing.
Have you had any bites on it or?
I have one fella, he's kind of semi-retired. He's not looking for full-time, but he's willing to jump in and help us till we know whether we can hire somebody or the guy's coming back.
Yeah.
So that, he's a pretty good candidate, but we'll wait and see. We just posted the ad, so we'll see what we get in the next week or so. Weather looks good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for
November, it looks really good.
yeah, somebody said there's not much snow till December. According to my wife, it was going to be a lot, you know, he's been wrong before. Director of Business Innovation, Lori.
I would appreciate council taking a few minutes to review or have a look at the previous meeting, and maybe you did already, but just get your feedback on the sound. I think that the minor adjustments that I had been making over the past few months have made a difference, and I think that where we're at right now is probably the best we're going to get all the equipment that we have. So I would look for your feedback there before investing in replacement, because it really won't provide any much difference other than we can attach and extend microphones. And just to follow up on the CBC radio, they caught wind of the municipality doing a podcast using AI, and we're all over that. So phoned and did an interview, and Friday, I think it was, or one day last week anyways, it was aired on the radio, and I actually got to support the municipalities. Yeah.
Awesome. So that's twice now with CDP, one for Nickelback and.
Well, something positive for
Two in a row positive.
Yeah.
That's great.
Director of Public Works, Mr. Brent.
I have nothing further to add to my report, Mr. Mayor, unless there's some questions I can answer.
Walter.
They were sending the truck is in Lethbridge. The blade sander are supposed to be shipped out on the 15th. He said it'll take a week to get here and they hope it'll be here by mid-December.
It's still relatively close to me on schedule.
It's right there, yeah.
Perfect.
And as promised, for the lady who's contacted several of us, that we discussed the road with Foxley.
So yeah, it's Fox Lake Trail. We put coal mix in the cracks because they were wider than the oil the oil wouldn't have done a proper job. So special areas did it in front of Tim Hortons with their oil and rock mixture. We just used coal mix. It seems a little rough now, but I guarantee the vehicles will push it into the crack. And the first time our grader goes over, it will shear those bumps down and it'll be back to normal. It's just to help save the road to keep the water out of it.
And the cost of the other alternative
The
was.
cost of the other is less.
Thank you so much.
Any other questions of Brent?
I'd just like to add that I turned closed captioning on for this meeting, just,
Let's see that.
yeah, and it's really doing a terrible job. But I can't really turn it, I don't know if you have to switch it, I don't know enough about it, so. We'll have to continue with the terrible job for the rest of this meeting. And, maybe not. next time.
We could, I mean, what's the worst case scenario?
You called Brent Walter.
He's all working.
I'll take it.
Okay, we get a motion to accept the senior administrator's report, 8.01, 8.03, is presented, Council Bowden. All in favor? Carried. Business items. Policy commemorative bench program.
Are we waiting for someone to respond or?
Yeah, I think it's just updating with the old policy because of the cost of these benches. I think the old one was 2016. So it's an update to the old policy to cover the cost of these benches. To be installed, which I think it's $2,300.
Yeah.
And then they pay for that. It's delivered, installed. They have to put their own plaque on it. And we will maintain it.
And we don't have as many designs of the bench anymore. That is, it's changed. There's only one design now.
Would be perfect.
Yeah.
It should be
Yeah.
good.
Well, that's kind of what we want, and you're not getting all these different, it's gonna be
Colors
installed.
are still available, but just the style of the bench. So,
So the brushed stainless steel memorial plaque is included and then given to the customer to get engraved.
they go to the word store and we give them the dimensions of it to have made. Yeah.
So when can somebody pick up an application?
After tonight's meeting.
Oh, okay.
We'll do the policies.
No, we've got a couple there that have already asked, about finding somebody to sponsor along out to Fox Lake.
Um, is there a limit as to, how many benches that we would want to be put, like if it's in a smaller area, is there a limit?
Our crew tries to make it look the best and not,
Probably.
into an area. Yeah, they try to work the best they can with the people that are donating.
Okay.
That's where they like it. So
So do we need a motion to revise our policy?
Yeah.
Counselor Cole, bump the price up to 2,300, Counselor Cole?
Yeah.
Okay. Any more discussion? All in favor? Carried. 2025, 2012 is my favorite one. 2025 to 2027 budget meeting date.
Yep, so we're just looking for dates that you like to come in and discuss the budget.
Are we opposed to evenings?
Evenings work.
I think most, for those that are working during the day, it's kind of nice to have it in the evenings to be able to accommodate them. If a day meeting is not available or suitable. Like a 6 o'clock, or would you be looking at? Well,
Traditionally, we usually run a couple and a half, or 2.5 hours.
I think we did a sort of mix, that we did some that were in the evenings and then maybe a couple during the day, like kind of to offset but I think I'm quite game to.
Yeah, last few years we just needed the 2 meetings. And do one evening and one during the day.
I'm lucky I got a spook employee now, so I can get away.
So you're looking at December 10th,
The week of November 25th.
mission targeting for this time.
So the week of November 25th in there,
Okay.
the 20. Well, we're I believe.
Yeah, the council
Meetings in here.
Yeah.
But that's your council.
Yeah, we got a community service board meeting.
The info session is that morning.
Yeah.
Start the week off excitingly, do a Monday.
Do Monday.
Do Monday.
My preference would be 7 p.m. But if that's late,
What are you looking at me?
I'm committed on Wednesdays, so,
Okay,
Past
So-
7? Or just during the day?
no, and
he's got the week on Wednesday. So Monday, the 25th, 7 p.m. For the first one. That work for everybody?
It'll cost you.
I have a library,
What do I need to bring?
No, I mean,
I have a library board meeting at 3:30, so it'll be done before that, so.
yeah, I'm good for the 25th. That's
8 a.m.
Budget meeting.
7 p.m.
So.
Thank you.
breakfast time?
No, it's 7 p.m.
Oh.
on the 25th. Are you kidding? Yeah.
Won't be here the end.
Start early there, Fred.
And then you're,
Okay, and then the following in December.
Second, so
You rather that one be during the day then?
I prefer that because I've already got committed to 2 meetings on the Monday night.
what days are you not available? Counselor Cyril?
Monday. The rest of the week looks good.
So if we go December 3rd. Counselor Murphy, that was I see your nose strange.
No, not at all.
Okay. Well,
And at what time?
9 o'clock.
Counselor Olson, what time? Sorry. I'm flexible for whatever time unless something else comes up.
9 o'clock.
Sure.
Okay, so December 3rd.
Second one's usually the longest one. So that works.
Yeah. 9 a.m.
Why don't we get a 8:30 start time?
Because my staff doesn't start till 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that works for me.
And do we need a second date just as a backup plan? Traditionally, we've been able to get through it all.
You were looking at the 10th.
You want the same week again, is
Evening
that
of the 5th.
the 5th, evening of the 5th?
Doesn't have to be 7 p.m. We can do that.
Okay.
Not that it's all for me, I'm just suggesting.
So 7 p.m., well, you're busy on the December 5th, right?
Yeah, well, we got our current.
Oh,
Okay. What about the
4th? Well, no, he's booked that weekend, so.
The whole week. And
if we
Fourth
move-
doesn't really give
Yeah,
enough time to make changes.
yeah,
me a lot of time to get it online, to get out in the
10th?
package. We do it.
Okay, well, maybe
I'm still-
I'll get the 9th.
Sometimes.
Will the 9th be okay?
If it's evening, it'll have to be after 7 again.
Well,
Well-
that doesn't give you a lot of time to get in the package
It
either.
won't be in the package then. Or the
Won't be in the December meeting. package.
December,
Can
we can add it in, but yeah.
This won't be in fact.
can we have a special meeting?
No, or council meeting the next day.
Yeah, but it may not be.
Optimistically, we won't.
It may
Yeah,
not
this is the
be.
backup one.
It's a backup if we don't get it.
So if you don't get it decided on the second.
Yeah. So
Nine.
December,
So 7 p.m. on the 9th then.
Okay.
And the same thing, we can add it to the agenda, just an amendment to the agenda is all it is.
perfect.
And those meetings are public and will be advertised, but we don't live stream them.
Oh, thank you.
I'll send a reminder to.
So can we get a motion to set our budget dates, November 7th, or November 25th, 7 p.m. December 3rd, 9 a.m., December 9th, 7 p.m. Motion, Councilor Golden, all in favor? Carried. Thank you very much.
And of course, we don't know if Counselor Warwick's available for any of those.
Yes, you should have showed up.
9.03, the four-way stop conversation.
yes, okay, so remember, we discussed this at the last discussion meeting, and consensus was at that meeting was not to put a four-way stop in there. So it's just brought back to make sure that you're okay.
Firm it up.
Yeah,
There were only 4 of us that were attending.
We can discuss it. I'm perfect. I support what you guys are saying. We don't need another four-way stop. I'm sorry, but that's just, that's my,
It's your opinion.
Yeah,
Is it the residents' opinion as well? The residents approached me about having one, so.
Well, I did a quick poll on Facebook and unofficial, and it's about 50-50. And I don't know, we it's funny, people are still stopping at the pretend stop now with the stop line there, so I think we've got the traffic slowed down. There's lots of different ideas about what to do there, so I think what we should try, in my opinion, again, is to leave it as is and reassess later on. I think every time we do a knee-jerk reaction, we end up backtracking a little bit, so I think if we just let it set for a little bit and see how it goes, and then we can do it later. I mean, it's not like we can't do it ever.
We'll see how it operates with the pseudo traffic control, the bump outs, better viewability for pedestrians and.
Yeah, I guess that was the concern, is that whole downtown beautification was to attract more people down there. And if it does, it's always kind of nice to be proactive and have a safe space. I know there's people that are flying up there and doing burnouts on our new stuff and everything. And maybe that's a matter of getting the RCMP involved in there to do something with those that are doing burnouts or those that are speeding. Because if they're heading east, they don't really slow down until they get to the four-way stop by the dentist office.
The burnout was from leaving a stop sign, correct?
Yes.
Wasn't from, driving straight through.
No, but that's considered like stunting, is it not? Like it has nothing to do with that end of it, but it's just I don't know, just the people that are flying down there. It's just a matter of time before somebody gets hurt, in my opinion.
So the RCMP and ask them to police it a little better.
That may be a good idea.
We also mentioned at the last meeting that we would possibly discuss it with the sergeant the next time he's here about what his opinion is about that area and whether they're speeding. Because
Yeah,
it only works for people who abide the law, and the people who are stunting at the stop signs are not abiding by the law anyways. So I don't think it's going to help them at all.
No.
You can sit out any meet.
Yeah.
And listen to the exhaust from turbos on.
I'm on downtown, like on that
Like, I
road.
mean, you hear them whining all over the town, so I mean.
I know even up in Stevens, like we can hear them at Luther and church.
Oh, yeah,
Mhm. Yeah.
So, recommended motion is not to implement a four-way stop. Any more discussion?
None of the people I talked to on the weekends up here at the Legion, they figure the two where they're already at, leave it. But this one here, especially because they gotta make the big loop, so they gotta slow down, cut around the corners. And they look at it, we don't need another one.
Councilor Murphy, any?
I totally agree with him. I personally don't think it's going to make much of a difference. People stop, they don't stop, they're confused, but I don't think it's going to affect people who are irresponsible.
One other thing to consider, you decide not to do the four-way stuff, do you want to keep that big white line there?
No,
Or
it's confusing.
have it removed?
I think they have to be removed. It's very confusing. There's no stop sign yet. There's a stop line that appears there.
But it's crosswalk though, that's the whole thing. That's why.
Yeah, but that's not a
Confusing.
crosswalk mark. It's
It's not
a stop sign mark. I believe.
It was an error.
Add that to your motion.
Yeah. Councilor Olson,
Yeah, I'm happy to not have a four-way stop there.
Councilor Bolden, you'd like to have a stop?
Well, I would, just to increase the safety of the downtown versus convenience. Yeah.
Councilor Cole?
No, I don't want it. We had a pedestrian crossing light there.
Yeah, but that's
Did
a
they do
different thing.
anything?
Yeah.
No,
Okay, so
it's
the
been removed.
recommended motion is council not implement a new four-way stop at the intersection of Second and Second, as well as removing the artificial stop lines. Councilor Olson, all in favor? Opposed? Carried. Law officer program.
Oh, we missed one.
Status sharing agreement, sorry about that. Cross went out by accident.
So municipal affairs wants us to create a keep a list of all the electors in the town, and make sure that we're able to provide that information, share that information with the province and each other. Part of Bill's planning, so they want us to sign this agreement, which is attached. They've given us a deadline of, can't see where the deadline is, but there's a deadline coming up. They want that signed and sent back to them, or we won't be compliant with what they want.
Before the end of the calendar year.
Yeah. So it's just the ability to share information. They will share it with us and we will share it with them. They want us to keep a list. We may incur some extra cost in that, right, in the list, or.
So is that just a matter of having a list of those who are eligible to vote
Yeah,
and all their address, phone number?
yeah. I don't know how difficult that's gonna be to create that list.
Do we need to supply those phone numbers and addresses?
I don't know if
I
it's.
just said list.
Yeah.
So what are they trying to do? Sway this to electronic voting or what?
Well, they're trying to get rid of the electronic ballots from what I gathered based on talking to some of the bigger municipalities. Counselor Crowe, I really don't know what the root cause or the justification is, to be honest with you. I read through this like 3 times on Saturday and I still do.
Does not include physical.
But ultimately, I don't think that we have a whole bunch of checks. So, yeah.
So if we don't agree with it, what's the consequence?
It says we're not in compliance, whatever.
They'll stop funding.
Yeah.
Has this been done before? This is first. Does this happen every election? I think so. I'm not sure.
Let's leave it.
Yeah, I think this is the first time this is from the council.
But I think to maintain our compliancy with the provincial government.
Well, with municipalities, is it?
Municipal affairs.
Yeah,
Which is,
under the government, yeah.
okay, we get a motion to comply with their approval of sharing data. Counselor Thurl. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
So, I don't, like, so what's the motion? What was the motion?
The motion is to be compliant with municipal affairs. Okay, all in favor?
How can we vote on this? We don't even know what it is that they're stating.
The motion is requirements under Bill 20.
We share that information. They'll have information and they'll pass it on to us, and whatever information we have is agreeing to share this electoral list information back and forth. And it's for a 2-year term. So I don't know if this is like a trial, but it's just for 2 years that this agreement's in place for it. And they're going to come back and want us to do it again in another 2 years.
The gist of it, from what I understand, is we send them how many potential voters, like just the addresses that are there. We send that to them.
Not even addresses.
No, we send them the physical data. We don't, it doesn't look like by reading through this that we send them the names of all the people. We just need to send to them each block that could be voted. Because then they can check addresses when you go to vote to verify that you are one of those addresses.
And most likely that you're an eligible voter.
Because it reads, the municipality must provide the Elections Alberta a complete data set of physical address data. Just the physical address part.
Yeah.
Schedule B has name initials, gender, date of birth, telephone number, mailing address, and postal code.
Yeah, and it says it wants Schedule C provided from the municipality to Elections Alberta, which is suite, house number, street name, municipality.
No name. Okay, gotcha.
And then they would have the rest that they would fill and share back to us.
I could understand why they would want that because of the growth of some of these smaller communities that have really, Airdrie's exploded and Lethbridge has exploded and.
Here in Canada's doubled.
Right, right.
Yeah, I would think it's good. I would think it's gotta have something to do with those who are eligible to vote and maybe has something to do with this interference in voting and all of this throughout the country and such.
In Canada?
Yeah. Been in the media for a while.
I don't think it's a part of that, like what AD Munis when they discussed about non-permanent residents voting, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the criteria to be able to vote.
Okay, so we do have a motion on the floor. Council approves the data sharing agreement with Elections Canada or Elections Alberta for accessing provincial register of elected data in accordance with requirements of Bill 20, Municipal Affairs Statute Amendment Act. All in favor? Opposed? Carried.
I'm kind of on the fence. Yeah, I know I can't be.
Bylaw officer program.
So as you may be aware, we don't have a bylaw officer or peace officer anymore. The last discussion meeting we discussed, consensus was that we should go ahead with the bylaw officer. So this is just bringing back to you to move ahead with the same conditions of the past. Bylaw officer contract the hours of work, roughly the rate of pay, it would be a contracted position. And also to repurpose the vehicle that we bought to a bylaw officer vehicle as well. There'll be some cost involved with that, just to change the decals, I guess, monthly.
Question with that. Have we ever checked in, with the locals next door, like the communities next door, they like chip in, to make the hours,
Full time or something?
like a deal, they might do it for one day at Youngstown, to make it more lucrative, look at for the hours, I just looking at the hours, it's not a lot, for somebody that might need an income, but it's a seasonal or.
But if it's a contract position, that person would have the ability to go to California and so on and so on.
Yeah, that's what you get here last one, but that's the whole thing. It's
Yeah, we did talk about whether it could be like part of the time they could be doing bylaw and the other part working either with public works or parks. Just to make it a full time, but then it wouldn't be contracted, it would be an employee.
Which is okay too.
It's something there, that might look a little better, try to attract somebody,
That makes it pretty awkward for somebody
To do those.
to play both.
It would be, and I think that was from the discussions we had, it would be tough, that's tough with bylaw rent right now.
Well, and we only
Just
did,
keep them as
we only did contract work because that was the request of the previous person.
Right.
But it would probably be easier to manage the person if they were actually an employee and would actually have to report to somebody who would actually know what the calendar says.
Yeah.
I almost think it would be better, personally.
I don't think that was a deficiency of the contract versus employee. I think a proper person, when we get in that position, it'd be interesting to see if there's a semi-retired person out there, this would be a good fit for.
Yeah.
A proper person would report back whether they're contract or employee, and we could get information that way.
You're right.
And the other side of it is, I don't think you can say that it's a an 8 to 5 job. It might be a 3 till 7 job or a 3 till 10 job. Depending upon what they're doing, what activities we're in. So,
I'd like to put it out there and see what comes back. There's some interested parties out there.
As an employee or as a.
As a contract, as it's written here with the 14 hours a week and
And then that could always be changed if there is need then to convert it over to an employee position.
oh, absolutely. I assume the role will grow. I do think it'll be a few years.
As you grow into it, yeah, you know. I have no problem with that, you know, as a starting spot here.
And I like the idea to cut down on the red tape so that if they can address people one-on-one first before stretching it out on all the paperwork that is added if they aren't doing that. They have to be face to face and be able to I don't know, address any conflict or be able to cope with it. So
any other questions? I think we forward out, see what. If something comes of it, comes around. Okay, so. Most of the council, pre continuation of the bylaw officer program. And direct administration was hiring a new contracted bylaw officer. Additionally, that council would approve rebranding an existing chief officer vehicle to use it as a bylaw officer vehicle. Motion, Councilor Cole, all in favor? Carried. Purchasing policy.
I'm sure you've all had a chance to read that, but this again is based off the last meeting that we had, trying to go with what you guys talked about. So it was to give administration discretion for purchases up to $25,000, make sure that we're in compliance with trade agreements, take part in both purchasing participation, and the spending authority for like senior members of staff was increased because the old policy was it like 1996 or something like that, and it gave like $1,000 limit for staff to spend. When I talk to staff, they often spend over $1,000 without reporting to the CEO what they're spending on. So it was to update that as well. So I think this, policy is quite liberal. It gives a lot of authority to staff to make the best decisions. And, like I've been here for 2 months and I have confidence in the staff that they're doing the right thing by the organization and by the municipality. I don't know it's necessary to inundate them with red tape on every choice that they make. If it just slows things down. And they are, they're all invested in the community. So it's, I don't see if there's issues of concern over where they purchase from, but sometimes they have to buy not local. But the majority of the time, we could, like where they spend the money, like you guys see it every month, it's local. So
I would say probably 90% of our purchases are like our consumable. We also firmly believe that our staff is more than capable of making the decisions on where to purchase and what to purchase. If they're not, then we don't need them. I believe that if a staff is buying something, it's not because it's brilliant, shiny, it's something. I think we need to empower our staff to make the best decisions they can. If they vary from this process, then Matthew will have to deal with them, and I think it can be addressed in that fashion. But I don't see our policies other than some of the numbers that were out to date. But I just don't think that we need to micromanage our policies. I know in the past, worked with a company that come up with a minimum 3 quotation rule. So for example, if Lori wanted to buy a new pad of paper, she had to get 3 quotations and then she had to report to Matthew with the lowest cost. Well, Lori's time is worth more than that bundle of paper for. So, and I just don't feel we should hamstring our staff with that type of bureaucracy, I guess, for lack of a better word. So, I like what you've done, Matthew. I think it's good. Like I said,
I'm sorry. I think there was some concern, or where this was coming from, was doing a comparison between bids on similar contractors, local versus out of town. And when they look specifically at the cost of doing the job, may have been a lot higher than the outside company, but have they included all the costs associated with that outside one? If they're having to stay in hotels, if they're having to, subsistence and all of this other stuff, that I think has to be considered as part of the cost of doing that job. And if they aren't, well, then it is kind of an unfair, after all the other extra costs involved, then the other individual may have a lower overall price because they're not dealing with all the extra costs that would otherwise be is not included in the actual job cost. And
yeah, and I think all the directors here are experienced enough to take all that into consideration. I don't know, they know how things work,
And the other side of that is just because I go and buy a backhoe and a hydrovac, and my hourly rate is hypothetically $20 an hour less than Brooks Asphalt is, doesn't mean I'm the contractor to use. I have no skill, I have no ability, I have no experience in the work. And I think that has to be factored in as well. When it comes to hiring somebody, you have to be comfortable with their abilities.
it work.
Exactly.
If you're getting one individual that is doing the work and it's crappy, well, then maybe that should be reevaluated and set out there for
But and that's part of our staff's job.
Well, yeah, and it keeps getting done where there is some where it is really poor work that had been done. So that was just, I didn't bring up this motion or anything, but just as far as, they have to have a certain level of quality in the actual work that they do. Otherwise, they go back and they fix it. And if they don't, well, then maybe somebody else should be considered. But, yeah, and in the same token, just because somebody has trucks that are whatever, and we choose to buy out in another community, well, they don't have what we want. So just because it's available local doesn't mean that we have to buy it. Our needs have to be a certain value as well. So there's a lot in the game.
Like I said, I think that's where our staff, we have to trust our staff to do their job.
Yeah. You can spend $2 to save 10 cents.
It's
I mean, time is valuable. I mean,
So we got a recommended motion. The council approved the town of Hanna purchasing policy as presented, which incorporates the council's direction to prioritize the purchasing where feasible while allowing administration flexibility, resources friendly at a cost, time, efficiency where necessary. Councilor Murphy, all in favor? Carried. Isn't that long again?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. It's already time for garbage removal.
Yeah, garbage rule.
So we're just looking to get your approval to send this out for tender. I think I listed for a 3-year deal. I think last time was a 2-year and you added 1 extra year to it. So I think 3-year gives us that consistent planning phase, and it also gives us an option to add to it. So if we're happy with the 3 years, we don't really have to re-tender. We can add another year to 4. This gives us consistency with that. So we're just looking for your approval to get that advertised. I've already had somebody call up and ask. And we're going to be tendering it out, so it's interest.
Council,
Can make that motion?
okay. Council approves to issue the 3-year tender for residential garbage collection service effective January 1st, 2025 to December 31st, 2027. Council Bowden made the motion. All in favor? Carried. Yes, COP grant application.
This is a small communities, opportunity program, every grant up to $50,000. I met with Thomas to discuss this, some ideas. We looked at what they've awarded in the past. We thought it would be a good opportunity to go for a media team to help promote the town of Hanna. And if we partner with special areas as well, they can be used to promote them as well. It's a 90-10% split, so 90% will be paid for by the grant, and we'd have to find 10% and we split that how many ways we can. So we end up being a budget item. Yeah, the idea is to get a media team to promote the town of Hanna and the area.
We're kind of already.
We
a
have
bit of
pretty
that
much
was
done that, I think, with Insight, had we not?
We've been like, me and Thomas talked inside, they were kind of like working on this, and this would make sure that it's completed, and I think so much work was done, and it just wasn't.
I think the 90-10.
The money ran out.
Yeah.
Very appealing, yeah.
So this, like, the work could go to Inside, or it'd be open, so somebody else could bid on it and end up getting it, but the idea is to get these things finished that weren't done before.
Lori, what are your feelings on that?
I know Mark had implemented a fairly aggressive marketing strategy that fits right in with this. Probably maybe was a similar fund, and it was, I believe it was quite successful. It wasn't Insight that ran that. Not sure if it was contracted directly through Harvest Sky or if it was third party. I don't know. All I know is that the individual that did it would reach out to all of us. There's 4 or 5 or 6 of us, and either share our social media posts or create their own based on activities happening within our communities. And it was great. It reached a little bit further than what we were able to reach, and different platforms than what we reach as well. And you know, you can never get too many video clips and photos. There's always a list of photos to be gathered, especially with the new signs. Now we have no facility photos with the new marketing.
Yeah, no, I think it kind of falls under your thing.
I'm hoping that it's something Thomas would be managing.
Yeah.
So this will cover all media, not just print or photos, you know, but.
Well, you're not gonna get very far. But I know.
No, but like, you know, it'll. cover a little bit.
Yes. I would refer him back to that plan that was done a few years ago, and maybe pick it up and continue with it.
Okay, so
If that's with Harvest Sky, then it's Youngstown, Special Areas 2 and 10.
But it doesn't have to be.
If he's managing it, yeah.
I guess it depends on what the other groups,
okay, recommended motion is to approve administration's application to the small communities opportunity program scope. $50,000 to client fund media aid promoting the town of motion. Councilor Thorough, all in favor? Carried. And the new agenda item, and red. I guess they're both send the nerd. When you look at it really quickly, it kind of, yeah.
So this one's it's a 50-50 split, so it's not as good as the stock brand. So again, me and Thomas discussed this when we brought it to the last meeting. The idea that we got from that was the Nickelback there's a Nickelback theme with everything going on. What was those little signage things where it would give a little bit of a story? We'd have those around the town. there's an idea of putting QR codes on it as well, and we could also put an app that goes along with it as well, that works with it. So again, we'd like to partner with Harvest Sky and Special Areas on this as well, to get them involved, but it'd be a 50-50 split.
So 50-50 and then 50% from the grant and 50% from the participants.
Yeah. So the more we can split that, the better, but I don't know what that split would be. But again, I've been here a little while, I always hear people coming into the office, they're always asking where they go back. I did watch the documentary on Netflix, I've been here, I think it's the thing, you go to Liverpool, you see the Beatles all over the place, right? You've got to work with what you have, right? And
I think we have an opportunity here, and we need to take advantage of it, and if this is some funding that'll help us with our end plan or end goal, or I don't know if we ever have an end, but moving forward, I think we have to take advantage of it.
And I think Mark has done a fair bit.
yeah, there's
With
a lot
that.
of pre-work done, and
So
that's
to
like,
continue on with
yeah.
that.
I didn't put an amount on it, yeah, because it's between 10,000 and 300,000, but whatever you think we should chase it after,
But what is the split that we want to split?
we're gonna have to budget that line.
That's the whole thing.
So
So
we-
we cost us 150 grand and what do you think the community would say?
Yeah,
This is the
But
whole,
what would be the return and if
That's
you
the whole
invest
thing.
that in,
You know,
then that may
you can
have
spend
a
$1
rippling
million
effect down the
bucks.
way.
But if we looked at $20,000, and I'm not gonna speak for special areas, but I mean, ultimately, we partner on a lot of this stuff together. So our share of that would be 5 areas, potentially 5, and then 10 or 20 from the grant, so that's our 50 split.
But we can't get anything done with 20,000.
No, I'm just using that number out there.
I think go big or go home.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
You may as well
I
give
think
it a try.
definitely.
And then,
We figured out.
and then you're gonna be getting a quality item.
Yeah.
Providing we're able to come up with the funding.
Okay.
It doesn't take a lot of visitors to make up for that. It really doesn't. You have 100 people over a summer who stay at the hotels and eat food, and it's already made up for itself. It really doesn't take much. Anything.
Well, like even that young guy who was sleeping in his truck, I mean, hypothetically, he spent $100 in town.
Yeah.
I mean, he had 2 meals and
When you shared it with
with the world.
the word. That's what
It's so hard, I mean, it's so hard for me to get my head around how something like that pops up on my feed, and now, since I've started following this guy, that's actually pretty cool, but it's amazing, how algorithms and so on and so forth work. It just never ceases to amaze me. And I still maintain that it's not a coincidence that Hanna is not dying, we're growing.
Mhm.
And we're having people move from the lower mainland in BC where Mark focused a lot of his work. We have a lot of people from Southern Ontario. We have a young family from Montreal that moved here just recently. And again, I'm not saying that that's the sole reason that they're here, but I don't believe a whole bunch of coincidences here. I mean, obviously our housing market is very appealing, but our housing market is back to where it was, or pretty close to where it was pre-COVID, pre-mine shutdown. So it's very, I want to say exciting, but nice. Yeah. So pick a number, Councillor Bowden. How big do you want to go? 300,000?
Well, go big or go home, and you may be able to apply for other grants to help
Offset.
match that 150,000.
so 300,000 would be a $600,000 project.
No,
Yeah.
We budget 150 and apply for the.
Or
for the 300. Is that not the limit for the,
It's just $300,000 grant, not a $300,000 project, and they put 50 in. It's just straight up
Matching
300,000.
grant between 10,000, so a matching,
matching of 300,000, so we could apply for 300,000, but then we gotta come up with 300,000.
yeah.
Well,
So you're gonna apply for it.
have we gotten some of that money from, special areas that we were able to give us additional
They
funds for
they
this?
sent the money, like, was it like a month ago? Yeah.
When is the deadline? Like by the time you actually get, to find out whether you get the grant, it could be quite a ways down the way.
You do have to know what you're asking for, though. You
Well, I
can't just
realize
ask
that.
for an amount without, so,
No, but you always have to identify what
oh,
you're
no, totally.
applying the grant
It
for.
could be really exciting.
So it
Yeah,
depends how much.
In springtime, I think they let you know. When I got it before, I think it's
Yeah.
early spring and the deadline is. Right.
I'm
at the
hearing that
beginning of
we'd
the
be
year.
comfortable doing 150,000, is that what I'm hearing? A matching of 150,000, they do 150, we do 150. Is that the consensus?
So with our 150, are we counting in special areas and?
No, we're not. So our 150, depending upon the partnership that we work out with Harvest Sky / special areas in Youngstown, it would be, I don't know what that number would be, Councilor Cole, but 75.
If we budget the 150 and then we're optimistic glasses.
Yeah.
Special areas would come up with 75. But prepare the budget to have that.
Okay, so motion for council to support administration applying for the Northern and Regional Economic Development Grant for the Nickelback theme signage and accompanying app at a dollar value of $150,000.
That was, I was looking for 300,000, but.
But 330,
300,000 total.
but our half is under.
And a half would be, then our half would be. 150.
So that's where say we apply for a grant of 150, then we come up with 150.
You can do 300, but we got to come up with 300 as well.
Well, I realize that, yeah.
That's why I thought 150 and they did 150.
It'll get her started in, right? Get the ball rolling.
The last time you did this grant, what was it for? What did you get?
Street beautification
Oh, very good.
and a big, you saw a big heart at the end of our main street.
Yeah, the $1 million heart.
Yeah. It's not the blue ring. But else,
It's no blue ring.
yeah, I might kick back on the seer.
So are we agreeing at 150 or do we want to go bigger?
That's what it works out to, Sam.
No,
If you go
it's a
for-
$600,000 project.
Oh, you're saying a special areas comes up with half of 300?
If we,
For signage in an app, that's a lot of money.
I think there's more to it than that. There may be copyright issues and stuff that, I guess we really have no idea what we're gonna get for the money, so.
Yeah, it's hard to put a number when we can't.
Exactly, yeah. We have no idea what it's gonna bring.
All
us,
this
how
looks
much it's gonna
at
cost.
the end of the day, right? So we would.
We don't want a big red heart at the end of it.
Yeah,
No.
what you guys decide.
I thought 150, but then contribute 150.
Yeah.
Councilor Phil?
It's not a one time. Right? Can you do it only one time?
No, it's every year. It's every year, yeah. But I think 300,000 would get you a lot.
I would
Like, you
go
would
with
definitely get you would definitely get several
Are you
signage.
talking 300,000?
And so, yeah.
Yeah, it's all 150 from us,
Yeah,
150
yeah.
from them, okay?
I can feel 150,000, that's,
That seems more acceptable to budget 150 than 300.
Nervous when it's 300,000. Yeah.
it's the whole thing is, we don't know what the economic trends are coming up or down. And we can't rely on special areas all the time either. They also got, they got a lot more to worry about.
Eric Olson. Boxley Trails are gonna be a need to overlay that in the next little while.
Yeah, I would like to. It all depends. In budget, as we're talking budget, I do, parts, we were looking at a different Bobcat, so I have been kind of looking into a high flow where we could get a planer, so that pump that's out by, DePaul place, for instance, we would be able to plane that down and resurface that ourselves without contracting them.
How much
So-
was this?
What did it come in at? I think it came in at around 28, but there's municipal discounts. They drop $8,000 off of if you buy it right away. So we're working on those prices to bring to you guys. That would help for 12, those kind of roads. And then we wouldn't have to, we could chew that whole stretch that we missed paving. And the gold mix that at half the price and it would make it.
No, I don't think you can include that in.
No, I just,
You're just trying to think where we might need the money later on.
that's what I'm,
If we do the overlay from, and the bridge repair, which is in budget for next
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
And then Tim Hortons all the way up, I
Yeah.
think we can maintain. We just missed that one spot by argue, and I think we can fix that up enough. I mean, and a planer doesn't have to be next year, it can be the year
Yeah,
after,
no.
but it's
okay,
just something.
I
we're
just-
going up.
to me, that's the next,
If anything on that road, it would just be the portion and by argue. I think the rest of it we can maintain with, like you say, some work on those pushing up the bumps and stuff.
okay, I'm comfortable with 150, Council Carroll,
That's what I said.
Council Murphy.
Yeah.
Council Olson, Council Moden,
Sure.
sure, Council Crowe.
Yeah.
Okay, so motion to approve supporting administrative plan to the tune of $150,000 in our matching.
You,
All in favor, carried.
I mean, the other thing is too, once we get this thing going, maybe Nickelback themselves will come out and say,
Well,
I mean, like, it's promoting this, I mean, then
Again.
they're more interested in promoting the
You never know, right?
I mean,
Some of the stuff we were talking about.
It's not the fangirl of it, it's essential.
Still cool.
I'd be fangirling too.
Who made that motion?
Dennis, did you know this?
Danny.
Is that why I missed it? Okay. I got it.
And then if it's successful, we could look at other things. That's exciting. Thank you.
And did you say all those in favor?
yeah,
Okay,
Yeah,
did we?
Yeah. Everybody wanna-
bylaws. Nothing to review, health reports.
No.
The Henry Kruger one, we, with all of the, I don't know, changing world that we're in, Henry Kruger went out and spent, $19,000 and upgraded our security system. We have cameras, we have alarms. We're not hooked up to any alarm company, so it's self-monitored. But it's got cameras in all potential high-risk areas. But they just made a decision to upgrade in the event that something, if we did have someone break into it, at least then we'd know what they did or so on and so forth. Is it overreacting? Perhaps, but I think with today's world, I think the more we can stay ahead of the game, the better off we are. So that's what we've done there. The emergency management communications course was a really good course. It kind of brought you back into dealing with the public in a proper manner. For example, if you had an event, how to deal with people better, how to communicate instead of the old no comment, which doesn't go over well. Basically, how to communicate and some tips as to how to deal with different situations. So that was pretty good. Remembrance Day at the school was gold stars. They do such a great job up at the school as well as the one at the Legion. So that surmises me for this. Councilor Thurl.
Nothing. I missed the last meeting and everything, so.
Councilor Murphy.
I was late in doing it, but I had supplied everyone with my report. Katie Foundation, they're doing fantastic, up to over 52 rooms. I bet at some point we're gonna be full. which is incredible.
Terrible problem.
Yeah. Yes.
Dina Nelson has just blossomed into role with the right CAO in place. Everything has changed. The CAO meets with the managers regularly together. Like they're actually a team. It's just incredible. And all three facilities have a really, their turnaround has completely stopped. Staff turnarounds go on. The residents are happier, they're staying longer. It's absolutely fantastic how well it's going. I did the handheld turkey supper, which was incredible. It's so great to see some people I haven't seen since before the pandemic. It was just wonderful. Chamber Gala was kudos to the chamber. They did a wonderful job. That was the comedian was fantastic. Library board, nothing too exciting. We did our outgoing chair, Ricardo Ward, and now we have Sheila Taylor as our new chair. It's going to be fantastic. And we've got a few things coming up. Acadia Foundation next week, Marigold, and library board. That's it.
Council
All my excitement's in there. I guess coming up, get into AGM season, the golf course board will have our AGM. Haven't set a date yet, but that's usually into November. Palliser AGM is set, I believe the 20. I don't quote me on it, but say the date was sent out. I was getting excited to chair a meeting full of people that chair meetings for a living. Hey, thank you. So yeah, that's coming up, and that's all.
Bowden.
I made a mistake on mine regarding an upcoming, Harvest Sky, was not today. And it will be December 10th. And then I, too, am going to attend the Palliser, AGM as an alternate. And, the rest is in here too. Did attend the school Remembrance Day and then the Legion Remembrance Day, and yeah, they've done a great job in sharing the information about those who have signed up and fought during the wars and such, as far as local residents. So everyone's done a great job.
Council Kroll.
I've got, I attended both Remembrance Day ceremonies, school and Legion Branch 25. Very, very well done. Like I like to recommend compliment them. I have a food bank, general food bank meeting tomorrow night, November 13th, 7 p.m. that I found out about this afternoon. Anyways, then we have a Vets Memorial Highway Association Central Zone meeting, December 3rd, 11 a.m. County of Painter, Municipal Office. We have Big Country Waste Management.
We have a budget meeting December 3rd at 9 o'clock.
Big Country Waste Management Commission meeting December the 11th at 7 o'clock in the Special Area Board in Youngstown. And then our info session.
Perfect.
What time is your meeting, December 3rd, Fred?
Pardon me?
Fred, December 3rd. It's at 11, did you say?
7th is Vets Memorial.
Oh, it's in the evening?
No, Vets Memorial is at 11 o'clock in Castor.
Because that's their budget meeting day. It's not, it's the one we just put in for budget meeting. That's
That's the morning one.
It's not 7 a.m.
Kevin and Wayne, yours is at 11 in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, motion for council accepts the council reports for the Legion. All in favor? Carried. Correspondence. Anything juicy?
Learning.
No correspondence. No correspondence?
Well,
It's unusual.
That's it.
You've got a new treasurer now?
It's terrible.
Overtime.
No closed sessions, I'm assuming?
No.
Moving for adjournment at 7:20.